You're finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you, Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now, thief.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
Ulfric?
Scandalous.
The Jarl of Windhelm? You're the leader of the rebellion. But if they captured you... Oh God, where are they taking us?
I don't know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
General Tullius, sir. The headsman is waiting.
Good. Let's get this over with.
Sure. Mara, Debella, Kinnereth, Akatosh, Divines, please help me.
Look at
Yeah,
him.
I don't think the gods
General
are gonna help.
Tullius, the military governor. And it looks like the Dalmor are with him. Damn elves. I bet they had something to do with this.
I'm not gonna help you. I don't know why you're looking at me. I'm as tied up as you are.
This is Helgen. I used to be sweet on a girl from here. Wonder if Vilod is still making that mead with juniper berries mixed in. Funny. When I was a boy, Imperial walls and towers used to make me feel so safe.
That is a shame.
Where are they going?
We need to go inside.
Why? I want to watch the soldiers.
Inside the house. Now.
Yes, Papa.
Get these prisoners out of the carts. Move it!
Why are we stopping?
Why do you think? End of the line. Let's go. Shouldn't keep the gods waiting for us.
No, wait! We're not rebels!
Face your death with some courage, thief.
You've got to tell them! We weren't with you! This is a mistake!
Step towards the block when we call your name. One at a time.
Empire loves their damn lists.
Ulfric Stormcloak, Jarl of Windhelm.
It has been an honor, Jarl Ulfric.
Ralof of Riverwood. Lokir of Rorikstead.
No! I'm not a rebel! You can't do this!
Halt!
You're not gonna kill me!
Archers! Anyone else feel like running?
Wait. You there. Step forward.
Me.
Who are you?
Yeah, that's right. Who am I? That is a great question. Hello and welcome to the stream proper. For anybody who tunes in or is watching this later, this is going to be a little bit of a chill kind of stream. If anybody comes in and wants to chat, you're more than welcome to. But I'm going to be doing some mod testing. I'm planning a big non-commentated let's play on the channel. I'll probably role play as far as, you know, the character's inner monologue and comment on the game, but I probably during those streams won't interact well with the Twitch chat, just because I kind of want it to be definitely in the realm of let's plays that have inspired me to kind of even begin doing this sort of a thing. Shout out to some super big role models of mine. Sorcerer Dave, formerly Jingles, and Gopher. Uh, Let's plays like I Claudius, the Leonard Let's Play that's still going on from Gopher, I Claudius being from Sorcerer Dave, Idris even from the Oblivion days, and I still watch the Let's Roleplay or Let's Play Oblivion again with, I believe it's, oh gosh, Sorcerer Dave's newest one. It's Rajir, I believe. I am so sorry if I've butchered that. But, we're going to do some mod testing. Just some wandering around, see what kind of trouble we can get into. So if you want to come on this journey with me, definitely throw something in the chat. I will also take opinions if you've got some mods that you'd like me to run. I'm stuck right now between making two different kinds of characters. One being a mage character that would either be an Imperial or a Breton. Much more villainous kind of a character, much more ruthless, evil even, like the ends justify the means. Or a more kind of a Stormcloak rebel freedom fighter, like honorable Viking kind of a Nord character, in the romanticized versions of probably Ragnar Lothbrok, someone like that, very freedom and all from the Stormcloak side of things, which I think that a lot of Stormcloak playthroughs get a bad rap because they well, the Stormcloak cause is often not very well looked upon. But I would want to make a very heroic sort of character for that. Maybe do the mane like Ulfric's got going on, or the tide behind the hair. And kind of do that, that kind of a character. If I was gonna make that kind of a character, how would I make them? Well, we would definitely go Nord. I like these yellow kind of eyes here. There we are. There we are. I don't know why, but on Nords, I love this right here. Making it either red or maybe, for Stormcloak, that nice pale blue. I've got a kind of a headcanon for my favorite playthroughs. Typically I have a shared name that I do with a lot of my characters. They are known as the Bloodmanes. Morally how would you say it? Morally varied, I would definitely say. But my first character in Skyrim, all the way back in 2011, was Loki Bloodmane. And I've kept the family name ever since in respect for that. And I believe he looked something like this. There we go. And the scars were just like that. Now, I don't think that he had the smirk. So if I take the smirk away, he probably had the standard. There he is. And of course, teenager back in the day, buff and powerful, and he just looked like he could take on the world. That was my first character in Skyrim, and I played him religiously until the end of the support for the original game. And then unfortunately my 360 save got deleted. And every time I've rebought Skyrim, I've brought Loki back to life. Though I've kind of gotten away from naming conventions like Loki. I think that if I was going to continue the Blood Mains for a Let's Play, I might name him after another sort. I was thinking Uba, after one of Ragnar's sons. But if I was going to do a Nord the way I was planning on, we'll go back to that there. I like that nose better. I'll give him back his... Oh. All of his eyes. There we are. Give him a beard. Though, I do like that. Then we'll go a little bit lighter with him being a Nord. Maybe an Auburn, kind of, for the naming convention. The Blood Main. So if I was gonna make a Nord Stormcloak, that's how we'd go. Though I've downloaded a lot of magic mods, so while I enjoy that a lot, and I'm typically a Nord every time I play Skyrim. I was thinking either going Imperial or Breton and taking a darker turn with that. You see, an Imperial would be, probably one of the easiest to change into a political navigator. But the Bretons, they really get the boost of magic that I prefer. Let's see. Let's develop an Imperial. Let's see. And, I see that I'm getting a few viewers in. Feel free to interact in the chat a little bit. You can help me brainstorm on the kind of character to make. What they should look like, how they would be. Now, for an Imperial in particular, naming conventions are traditionally very Italian or Roman-esque. So you've got your, for example, Aurelius, Marcus, Brutus, Julius, Quintus, Quintilius, stuff like that. With the U.S. is for masculine type names, and then you get the A's and the AIs, Pantea, Potema, Pontai, and you've got the plural, changings for Latin as well. One of the few things I managed to take from Latin class was naming conventions, and when I started playing the Elder Scrolls, I was able to identify that. So very pinched faces. They typically have a very strong jawline, but with him being a mage, he's not going to be very strong, is he? Well, I mean, that's also probably a convention that we can, kind of manipulate a bit. There's no saying that he has to be a shrimp little weakling. Though, if you were to play, a traditional role-playing game like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that, they're very squishy as a class. So they get that kind of a bad rap. But I suppose there's nothing stopping anybody from making a solid battle mage. But typically you don't get markings and scars on a mage character. Now, a burn or something like that would be pretty good. I don't know, I like that. Mixed with the wrinkles, make him quite a bit older or haunted looking. Now the Imperials don't have very interesting, unique war paint in my opinion. That one's okay, but I'm not sure. Though that one looks very regal. I just don't think that they go well, particularly. I typically use this with my mages, and then I might white out their eyes. Though he's been hitting it. But I typically save this sort of a look for in the middle of a playthrough when you see that they've destroyed their body in their pursuit for magical power. And that's helpful if you do an evil character like this would be. So he could definitely get to this point though. Let's see here. An extreme stress on the body would sometimes bleach the hair. You see this in some fiction. It's often said that Geralt of Rivia, as he survived and got better mutations than most Witcher initiates, one of the issues with him is that his hair became bleached and snow white from that point on. I think because of the bodily stress. Now, I wouldn't mind longer hair, but there's something about a mage with like that kind of cultist shaved head kind of a thing. Maybe he goes a little bit mad, grows out the big beard. Though, spoiler warning, this character will also be becoming a vampire. And if he doesn't become a vampire, that is why I would choose the whited out eyes. But he will, so I should probably hold off on that. Fun fact, if you're planning a character, the face sculptor will not allow you to change your face once you're a vampire. In vanilla, I might download a mod, but in vanilla you would have to cure yourself, change your face, and then become a vampire again. I wish that there was this goatee here with no beard. Is there? It's knotted, but I don't want it knotted. Regardless, this is a very good in-game look for a mage that goes corrupt like that, I think. But if we're beginning the journey, he's probably not bleached out quite yet. We'll give him black, but not completely black hair. He could be graying at the very least, if he's going to be a bit older. So we'll go... There we are. We'll give him those blue eyes again. Or the gray ones. Now these... I can't see very well. I think they're like a blue hazel. We'll get that makeup off his face. Yeah, it's nice. Now, in Fallout 4 and later Bethesda games, you're able to do certain tinting on the face that would make you look more concave, much more skeletal. example. You can change the color of, certain aspects. But really, and sometimes I feel like you've got to move the character around to really get them to kind of get out of that like very static pose that they're in, and they look a little bit more lifelike. I'm not crazy about the hair. That wouldn't be bad, but I always use that hair for Imperials. I, that's an idea. He could be balding. Everybody's got flowing locks of hair, but maybe he's just this, unfortunately, wrinkled and old chap. Look at me throwing out chap like I'm proper, like I'm not some hillbilly. Yeah, doesn't look particularly pleasant. He almost looks kind of Filch-like. If you've seen Harry Potter, see what we can do with his mouth. Ah, he does not look very pleasant at all. That's the face. A little bit grumpier not have Stannis Baratheon. My gosh. Yeah. I like that. Huh. So we have Uba, Bloodmaid. Very strong. Not very magically inclined. Giovanni of Skingrad. Now the Breton. I like to play around sometimes with the presets. Oh, that's very grumpy looking, isn't it? That guy's a thief. You can't tell me he's not. That's... Now, the thing with the Bretons is that they're based off of the Old English and French, the Bretons of history, but they find a lot of naming conventions from not only the Bretons but also the French and the very early English. That's why you've got your Arthurs, your Francois, Mortier, and what have you. He does look unpleasant, doesn't he? Let's see. I feel like this fellow would be blonde. Well, he is quite old, though, looking. So let's gray him up a little bit. Give him the Tolfdir cut. Oh, he could pass as half dark elf. You really, you don't have to change too much about that at all. He's old, he's grumpy, he's he's gross. Can make him a bit skinnier. There we go. Then if we did want to give him a little bit of flavor, war paint. That's a good one. But, sometimes you can get into those. I think that those are very marked well if they've got sideburns. There's that. Now, also for mages, I appreciate this. Usually on Argonians and Dark Elves, I think that that's just very, very nice. But it's hard to get away from that. Let's see if we could turn him a bit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the guy that would sell your soul to Molag Bal. Look, we're already 25 minutes in and we're still in character creation. We're supposed to be testing mods. I still think we go with Giovanni here. Now, that hair. We could give him that. Kind of skewer cut. I don't know. I don't know if he deserves that much hair. He could lose it in the end. But you're not a good man, are you? You're a very bad man. I think we'll do it. Giovanni. I hope we have enough. Perfect.
You're a long way from the Imperial City.
Oh, I have almost forgotten. I was doing a bit of a
What are you
chat the
doing,
last time I played Skyrim. There we are.
Captain, what should we do? He's not on the list.
Forget the list. He goes to the block.
By your orders, Captain. I'm sorry. We'll make sure your remains are returned to Cyrodiil. Follow the captain, prisoner.
Well, of course, whatever the captain demands. Now, I've got a lot to say about Skyrim, really.
Some here in
favorite
Helgen
games.
call you a hero, but a hero doesn't use a
Now,
power like you.
that,
Murder his
these
king,
these
usurp his
banners
throne.
are actually part of an HD banner pack that I've got
You
downloaded.
started this war, plunged Skyrim into chaos, and now the Empire is going to put you down and restore the peace.
For New Vegas fans, General Tullius is actually voice acted by Doc Mitchell.
Nothing. Carry on.
Yes, General Tullius. Give them their
Of
last-
course, General Tullius.
As we commend your souls to Aetherius, blessings of the eight divines upon
For the
you.
love of Talos, shut up and let's get this over with.
Learn as you wish.
Come on! I haven't got all morning.
Oh, is this the first scene that'll get me demonetized? Possibly.
My ancestors are
The-
smiling at me, Imperial.
I'm not even
You say the
important
same.
enough to be monetized yet. Maybe one day. Oh, until then, we can enjoy that in uncensored glory.
Idiot bastards!
Enhanced blood texture. It'll kind of spurt out from the stump.
As he was in life.
Next, the renegade from Cyrodiil.
Oh yeah, you can't say anything racist since I'm an Imperial. Ain't that right?
There it is again. Did you hear that?
I said, next prisoner.
To the block, prisoner. Nice and easy.
But yeah, what can I say about this load order? I've got enhanced lighting and FX, enhanced blood texture packs, better banners. I've got a great mod for convenient horses. Makes them way nicer to use.
Sentries. What do you see?
Oh, that's nice. I should have done a dragon retexture, but Alduin always just looks fantastic. He does care. Now, there is no shout in the game that allows you to do this. I wish there was. Woo! Ho, ho, ho!
What is that mean? Could the legends be true? Legends don't burn down villages.
Wise words, King.
We need to move now!
He does look good in HD, doesn't he? Alright, alright. Now, I mentioned Gopher. I believe it was Gopher. But in his Richard, I believe it was Richard, Let's Play, which Richard was a Breton archer kind of a character. He had jumped across, and then when Rayloff and the others didn't follow suit, he had realized in character that they had sent him out here to die to Alduin while they supposedly ran to safety. Oh, Vilod. I suppose he won't be making Juniper Berry mead anymore. Now, Hadvar is a very good character. I wish that Hadvar and Rayloff were companions, because really they have pretty good reason to believe in the Dragonborn. Woo!
Quickly, follow me.
Yeah. Now, I've just had a moment of realization. If I do go with this character, I'm going to want to start from right here. I can remake Giovanni, though. Wow. That is impressive. Still, after all these years. Woo! Oh yeah. Dragons can do that, but they don't do it often. Even outside of the Helgen sequence.
Looks like we're the only ones who made it. Was that really
It's true. It was.
We should keep moving. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off.
But yes, right here you can see that enhanced lighting and FX at work, that kind of smogginess. I know, Hadvar. I'm just explaining to the viewers how we're making Skyrim
You need
pretty.
your hands free. There you go.
I do.
Take a look around.
There we are.
There should be plenty of gear to choose from. I'm going to see if I can find
Now.
something for these burns.
Yeah, I do like the look of... Man, he's a little bit bulkier than I would have thought. Huh. But no. Giovanni here. We have flames. And healing. We also have a mod and the voice of the Emperor. Absolutely. Now, mods. I am using the Ordinator perk overhaul. It adds in far more. Oh, that's so cool. Far more perks, really. Fantastic. And it makes every skill hyper specialized. For example, as a mage, I'm going to be relying heavily on destruction. So instead of 5 different tiers of destruction mastery, there are 2 with much more significant, boom, oomph. Harsh lesson. Destruction projectile spells interrupt targets that are casting a spell. Does not work on massive targets, fair, or the elements. 40% more attack damage to targets that are taking damage from the burning ground created by Conflagration, Scorched Earth, or Pyromancer Ascension. Interesting. Now, raw power. That's cool. Ionized path. Merciless cold. Yeah. So if you were going to be a specialized mage, oh, there we go. Choose one element. That is your specialist. Now, I don't know if I would ever take that, because I do use many different... And you don't have to take everything in these trees, which is the point. If wearing robes and no light or heavy armor, destruction spells are 30% more powerful. You see, this allows mages to be as powerful as they were in former games, I believe. So absolute power. Aiming a sparks, lightning, bolt, chain lightning, or directly at a target will magnetically levitate them in front of you for 6 seconds, reducing their magical resistance by 25%. Wow. Glacial Prison. Frost spells immobilize non-essential targets in a block of ice for 6 seconds, reducing magic resistance by 25%. This effect has a 120-second cooldown, but killing a victim affected by Glacial Prison or hypothermia immediately ends the cooldown. I'm going to have a lot of fun with these perks. But probably one of the best things that I can say is actually an illusion. Illusion's huge. Because, not only do you get Night Eye to use whenever, goes to the 10th eye, which, has to do with mastering illusion in general. Entice Barter, that's awesome. Activate any hostile creature or humanoid in combat to summon an illusion of that target with 1% extra attack per my illusion level. The illusion relentlessly attacks the target for 30 seconds. Wow. Bind Guardian. What is Blind Guardian? Any non-hostile creature or humanoid in combat to summon an illusion of the target. Huh. Interesting. Wraithwalker. After using an activate perk, 50% more powerful and 50. Ooh, wow. Nightfall. Now I believe that there are some perks that are dependent on the rain, even, which is interesting. Imposing Presence. Oh wow. Shadow Refuge. Fickle Fate. Mind Effect. 1 and 40 points stronger, chosen at random. Well, that's it. It's always good. Masters of the Mind. Yeah. As a pure mage, Giovanni will be mastering all the schools of magic, though probably most likely at different rates. Now, I haven't looked in enchanting too much, but last word. Scrolls are 2% more powerful. Oh, there you go. Staff Channeler. 25% less charge. And you get enchanting experience in combat. That was huge. Secret Keeper. When a staff is equipped in your left hand, your attacks deal 25% more damage and critical damage. When a staff is equipped in your right, your spells and scrolls are 25% more effective, which I assume you would put in your left hand then. That's fantastic. The Flame of Magnus. While casting or concentrating on a staff in your left hand, you may attack with your right, dealing 50% more damage. This is the not Geralt. This is the Gandalf tree. Is exactly what this left branch is. Staff recharge. Equipping staves regenerate 5 points of charge per second, up to their charge level when you last equip them or recharge them with a charge tap. At will drains a quarter of your current weapon charge to restore your health by 15% of the amount drained, and magicka and stamina by 25% of the amount drained. If you have 2 enchanted weapons equipped, the drain is split. Huh. You shall not pass! Simultaneously, within 1 second, using an enchanted staff in your left and striking with an enchanted weapon in your right releases a flash of light that staggers enemies and deals damage equal to half your enchanting skill level. Okay. Giovanni will be a staff mage. If this is true. Spell Scribe. Store a spell you are dual casting, your power attacks, and grants the Spell Scribe's power. Use it to store the spell you are dual casting. Your power attacks and power bashes unleash the stored spell for free with a cooldown based on your enchanting skill. Only works with spells that affect other targets. Might and Magic. You're adept at weaving blade and magic. Spells cast with your left hand are 10% more effective if you are wielding a weapon in your right hand. Attacks with a weapon in your right hand deal 10% more damage if you are... Nice. Power Echoes. Spell Scribe activates twice. Interesting. Thunderstruck. Gem Dust. You may choose to destroy a flawless gem when you begin the enchantment process and sprinkle its dust on the arcane enchanter. New enchantments are 25% stronger when placed upon an item of the type corresponding to the gem. There's got to be a tome there. Preserver. Whoa. That's huge. Learning an item's enchantment does not destroy it. That's insane. Regalia. New enchantments placed upon robes, circlets, hoods, and necklaces are 30% stronger. Attunement. Weapons and armor, 10%. Oh, wow. Twin enchantments, we know that. And that's not the 100%. Arcane Nexus. Interesting. And Miracle. You put your heart and soul into the next item. Up to 3 enchantments upon one item that are 25% stronger. Try as you might, you will never again be able to repeat this feat. That is crazy. And end game. I could see us making a maybe a dragon bone sword or something, or even a set of robes. Wow. Very, very interesting. We will definitely be going into that. Now, Alteration is nice as well. There's Geomancer. That is good. Ritualist. Able to cast two-handed ritual spells while... that is cool. And helpful. The Philosopher's Stone. Once a day, generates gold equal to 4 times your alteration skill level. We'd be rich. Command Lock. Once every 6 in-game hours, you can weaken... Oh, wow. Aurification. Once every 12 in-game hours, activate a paralyzed target below half health to transmute its body into gold worth 100 times its level, killing the target. Has 50% chance of creating gold ore. No effect on essential targets. That is nice. Now, Vancian Magic. I don't think I'd ever take that. Quadratic Wizard. Less or more spells in exchange for increased or decreased spell effectiveness. Meta Magic and Arcane Thesis. I don't think that I could ever do that entire branch. Now, the Wild Shrines are cool. Each shrine, 5 shrines dedicated to nature's mysteries can be found in Skyrim. Each shrine grants a permanent bonus to one school of magic, making all spells from that school 15% more powerful or lasting 30% more longer. Wellex Dormant Arcana. Choose a spell type and 3 magical effects. The chosen... That would be very interesting, because if you're conjuring undead or Daedra, if you're doing a weapon cloak, that is a perk to define a playstyle on. Because if you're constantly... Wow. Let's say you just do Oak Flesh. Automatically, you can get Fortify, Regenerate, Water Walking, etc. anytime that you are affected by that spell type, which give yourself more magicka, regenerate it faster while you're doing that. That's fantastic. What's intuitive magic do? Novice spells of any cost of any school cast 100% less magicka to cast. Well, that's awesome. You cannot regenerate magicka and lose 10 points of magicka per second. I don't know that I'd ever take that. Huh. Let's see. Spellblade. Whenever you cast a spell with one hand, you deal 20% more attack damage for 4 seconds. That could stack with the enchantment tree. Energy Royal. Whenever you cast a spell with one hand, reduces the armor of nearby enemies within 10 feet by 150 points for 4 seconds. And then Rending... oh, wow. That's intense. Alter Self. With resistances, you may choose to increase 2 resistances by 25%. Oh wow, that would be easy. Frost and Fire, because I don't think that I've ever met a Lightning Dragon. You may choose one attribute to increase by 50 points, and then Nullifier. You radiate a dampening field, preventing enemies within 25 feet from regenerating, and that's passive. Huh. So, then we get over to Home My Fall. Summons a permanent magical field at the location where you learn this perk. Interesting. Alteration spells gain ×2 duration if cast within 5,000 feet and ×20 duration if cast within 250 feet. Additionally, Vancian magic can be recharged by sleeping within 250 feet of this. That's very niche. Now, Dimension Door. Oh, well, when you fall, you briefly turn. Oh, wow. When you fall below 15% health due to combat damage, you briefly turn invulnerable and teleport back to the location where you entered combat. That is very interesting. That's a lot to think about. I couldn't even imagine all the conjuration boosts. Plain Meld. Nice. Signed in Blood. When a friendly Daedra within 15 feet is below full health, it absorbs your life force to heal itself, preventing you from regenerating health, but regenerating 10 points per second, increased by... oh, well, that's not terrible. So, Atromancy. Summon Daedra and other non-undead minions last 3 times as long, or 5 times at night. Pact Magic. Maelstrom. You see, and this just continues to make a mage in general more powerful. Edge of Oblivion. You can summon or reanimate an additional minion, and they last 50% longer. When you do not command a summon or a reanimated minion, you lose 250 points of armor and 50% magic resistance. I don't know about that one. Now, Ravenous Dead. After being reanimated, the level cap of reanimation spells is increased. So that will continue to. Summoned and reanimated dead lasts 3 times as long, or 20 times, if you place Hagraven feathers into their inventory or use the Dread Zombie or Dead Thrall spells. They also gain 500 armor. Undead Crown restores 10 per second. A plague upon thee. If a reanimated Interesting. Necromaster grants finer control over creatures reanimated with powerful reanimation spells. Able to manipulate their inventory and equip items if they're humanoid. They emit a glow when slain. They can be sent through walls. The level cap of these spells are also increased by 100%. Shocked to life. Huh. And King of Bones. Interesting. I'm sure that there are bone altars. Yeah. Dead Tide. Maximum number of skeletons. They don't count. Oh, I see. Huh. Unholy. That's very interesting. Now, I do have a smithing overhaul, which is very nice.
Got to be a sword or two in one of these chests. Look around.
Oh, wow. I almost forgot we were in Helgen. Well, let's continue with the test.
Gotta get that armor on. Give that sword a few. Let's keep moving. That thing is still out there.
Right you are, Hadvar. Now, I also have a couple overhauls for the College of Winterhold that'll let me be an actual student. Believe it or not. Oh, that don't look happy.
We need to get moving. That dragon is tearing up the whole keep.
Just give me a minute. I'm out of breath.
Hear that? Stormcloaks. Maybe we can reason with them.
I don't think so, Hadvar. But you're the Nord. Go on.
Hold on now. Huh? We only. Let me see if I can get that door open. Let me see if I can get that door open.
Aha! Alright. Okay. Where were you?
Damn, that dragon doesn't give up easy.
What are you doing?
Alright.
An old store. See if you can find some potions. Might come in here.
Magicka. Healing. All that there. Nice. That's all we really need.
Done then? This way.
I am done. Now, if we can get down here, we might be able to save the Torturer's assistant. Oh, that's a shame.
Seem a bit upset at how I've been leaving their comrades.
Don't you even know what's going on? A dragon.
That's a good read, actually.
It's attacking Helgen.
A dragon. Please, don't make up. Although, come to think of it, I did hear some odd noises coming from over there.
Come with us. We need to get out of here.
You have no authority over me.
Oh. Now, if we do this...
Wait a second. Looks like there's something in this cage.
I love Skyrim.
Don't bother with that. Lost the key ages ago. Poor fellow screamed for weeks.
See if you can
But
get
it
it over
did.
with some picks. We'll need everything we can get.
Sure.
Ah.
All my things. Please.
Grab what you
If
can.
you insist. Now, Giovanni's not much of a thief, but I am. But we're really only in here for that right there. And of course, these. Nice. So, we have a new tome. And now, we can have an edge against mages. And we at least look the part. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I wish that Hadvar and Ralof were longtime companions because really they see firsthand in this first little area how great we are. Well, maybe not how great Giovanni is. He's kind of a low life.
Where in Oblivion are we
But
supposed to
how
go?
powerful we are.
Where's
How
the
about
way
that?
out?
There's no way out, gentlemen. Only death. I've backed myself into a corner. Go ahead. Kill yourself. Ooh. That's not good. So, that realistic lighting in FX, the enhanced, it's just, I mean, look at that. You've got volumetric lighting, dynamic changing. I mean, this is far brighter here because of the actual light source. Lovely. And, I believe, yeah, it's noon. So that is dependent on the time of day.
Let's see where this goes.
Sorry, Headbar. Now I could talk lore on this game for days, and I probably will during an actual let's play. Um, maybe not one of the RP ones, but at least maybe a casual one like I've got a one-shot rambling playlist. I'll probably put that in there. That's where I'll probably put this too, honestly. But really what I'm testing is game stability with the presence of these other mods. I've got a lot of dialogue enhancing mods. I don't think that the guards really are as dynamic as they could be, so I've got a guard dialogue overhaul. Oh, I hate spiders. So they'll comment more on your skills than you being a low level. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Keep away. I'm looting like I'm going to be playing this character for a while. Which is a shame. An Iron Mace. Now I do have a high elf that is kind of based off of like a beginning Sauron. I've been playing him vanilla for quite a while. His name is Cylinduril. I've got a ton of vanilla characters. I might show them off one day if enough people are interested. I've got a Gray Fox inspired character.
There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her right now. You might be able to see.
That's because you're a milk drinker.
Just take it nice and slow.
So, the Dark Elves have a really interesting philosophy. I don't know if you could hear me over the torrents of fire. But no, the Dark Elves actually have an interesting philosophy given to them by Boethia. That life will provide challenges for the Dunmer to overcome, and if they do, then they were meant to grow stronger. If they die, then they were too weak to accept the challenge. Which, you know, believe it or not, Boethian cultists are actually a super viable way to play the game because, you know, what do most Skyrim players do? They just destroy everything in their path. No survival mode. Now, this is interesting. The next prompt will be the Winter Sun Faiths of Skyrim religion mod. I believe. It should be. There we go. Religion. Most denizens of Tamriel are are religious. You may choose to follow a deity, receive a minor blessing, and learn about their sacred tenets. If you wish to follow a different deity later, find and activate their shrine in the world. This mod is fantastic. One of the best shrines in the entire game, in my opinion, is Hermaeus Mora, because you can find and understand knowledge. It's crazy. But here are the stereotypical 9 divines. As an Imperial, this would be my pantheon, with Talos being very controversial these days. We have Akatosh, the dragon god of time. As father of dragons, he represents the beginning and the end. As a follower, we gain improved attack damage and spell damage against dragons. Huge. Fulfill your destiny by saving Tamriel, raise your character level, absorb dragon souls, and never openly break the laws of Skyrim. Good, good. But how often are we really going to be fighting dragons versus everything else? So we'll go back. Arche. Divine Arche. Once a mortal shopkeeper, the Lord of Life and God of Funerals, was granted divinity by Mara. As a follower, you regenerate your health when weakened, and can perform Arche's rites on the dead. What that does, I have no idea. Tenants. Slay the undead and their summoners. Perform Arche's rites. Oh, okay. Never openly break the laws of Skyrim. Never summon the undead or become one of them. I'm sorry, Arche. Cannot do that. Dabella. Goddess of beauty and love, she inspires mortals to create art and engage in passionate love. As a follower, you improve skills while affected by lover's comfort. Only applicable if you find an NPC to marry. Her tenets are to persuade others, receive the blessing of lover's comfort, find a new symbol for her temple, pray only in the nude, never openly break the laws of Skyrim. It's a little drafty out here, Dabella. Cannot. Now, Julianos, maybe. The god of wisdom and logic, rules over the realms of knowledge, law, justice, and magic. As a follower, your spells will cost less magicka. Tenets, master the skills of the mage, strive to raise your magicka, and never openly break the laws of Skyrim. The laws, we don't know yet. Kennereth, goddess of wind and sky, patron of travelers, and the first spirit of creation. Some say the lover of Lorcan. As a follower, you move faster in combat, explore new locations, strive to raise your stamina, receive the voice of the sky, which is the Foom, pray only outdoors, never openly break the laws of Skyrim. Mara, the divine mother of agriculture, fertility and compassion, and mother cat to the Khajiit. Pray to remove diseases and poisons. That's actually huge. Probably the best divine if you were going to be a cleric character. Either that or Stendar. But her tenets are to be married, own one or more houses, be generous to beggars and children, receive the blessings of lover's comfort, and never openly break the laws of Skyrim. Stendar, the god of mercy and justice, patron of holy knights and the Imperial Legion. You reduce your damage from Daedra and undead. Huge. Clear dungeons of evil, slay Daedra and the undead, complete side quests. Never openly break the laws of Skyrim, and never practice the foul summoning arts. That is any kind of conjuration. Very good for a cleric or a paladin character. Talos. This one gets controversial if you are a mer or an elf. God hero of mankind, Tiber Septim founded the empire and ascended to godhood after his death. The mer, specifically the alt-mer of the Thalmor, consider this imperial propaganda. As a follower of Talos, you have improved attacks and shouts against the elves. Your tenets are to bring the civil war to a conclusion, learn the dragon tongue, absorb dragon souls, slay elves and the Thalmor, and never openly break the laws of Skyrim. And then Zenithar, god of work and commerce, worshipped by traders, nobility, and craftsmen. As a follower, you improve your crafting skills and learn them faster. Tenants are to invest in stores and merchants, seek out skill training, make weapons and armor, and never openly break the laws of Skyrim. I believe that, at least in the beginning, we will follow the divine Julianos. We have a 22%.
Looks like he's gone for good this time.
Oh. Favor with Julianos. We'll just prepare our prey power
I think
for
we
later.
should stick around to see if he comes back. The closest town from here is Riverwood. My uncle's the blacksmith there. I'm sure he'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made
Look
it
at
without
that.
your help today.
That's picturesque. I love it. Well, thank you, Hadvar. I'm sure that you'll follow me. Now, I didn't do a mod to change the standing stones because I think that they're pretty good the way they are. Now, one thing that I need to begin doing is to obsessively pick alchemy ingredients because alchemy is huge. Huge.
You should go to Solitude and join up with the Imperial Legion. We could really
Should I really?
If the rebels have
You sure should.
General Tullius is the only one who can stop them.
That's very assumptive of you, Hadvar. Do you think it's really their dragon? Do you think that they would need to do a rebellion if they had a dragon? A lot of people are very torn on the whole Civil War thing. The fan base itself, sometimes you have people that will legitimately judge you for your actual opinion on a fake war, which that's half the fun of being a fan. I've got a buddy who claims that humanity has done no wrong in Star Wars, and that the Empire didn't
See
really
that
do
ruin
anything
up
all
there?
that bad.
Bleak Falls Barrow. When I was a boy,
Oh yeah.
that place always used to give me nightmares. Draugr
Should.
creeping down the mountain to climb through my window at night. That kind of thing. I admit,
That's the
it's
least of
almost
your
like
problems. Alright, let's take a look here. Now, this is the part where Hadvar will introduce us to the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. And then he'll judge me for having a guardian.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape.
Wow.
Go ahead, see for yourself.
I love that view. Yeah, we'll go with the Mage Stone.
Mage, well, each his own. It's not for me to judge.
Yeah, it's not for you to judge, but you are slowly judging me, aren't you? That's alright, Hadvar. It's a shame that the Nords have forgotten their heritage as wise men. Some of the best mages were Nords back in the day before they got uppity about magic.
As far as I'm
Racist.
concerned, you've already earned your pardon. But until we get that confirmed by General Tullius, just stay clear of other Imperial soldiers and avoid any complications, alright?
Hadvar, I am one big complication. You might as well not ask. 3 wolves. Where's the third? There he is. Oh. Now, there is a fun fact to be seen here. In very shallow water, you can actually boil the water. Well, maybe not. Maybe the unofficial patch has changed something. Oh, goodness. We'll have plenty of alchemical ingredients to use. Now, alchemy is actually technically a skill of the thief, believe it or not. And as such, will not improve 20% faster for me, which is a crying shame. But alchemy is so easy to level up anyway, I don't really need it. An alternative stone to choose would actually be the Lover's Stone, because all you do is lose an extra 5%, but you gain a 15% increase across the board.
Shh. So, thanks. Keep your voice down. I'm fine, but we should go inside to talk.
What's going on? And who's this?
He's a friend. Saved my life, in fact. Come on, I'll explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Okay, come inside then. Sigrid will get you something to eat, and you can tell me all about it.
Very far away from our first level, unfortunately. But we have increased our destruction twice. Very good, very good. I can't remember what the Chalice of Tears does. Study arts of disease. Now, if you are diseased or undead, oh wow, your restoration spells are 15% stronger. Wow, that's interesting. While in combat, you may cast targeted healing spells and effects on enemies to inflict damage equal to 75% of the heal amount. Wow. That's interesting. Huh. I'll let them do their thing. This is a test
One of us has to do something.
run, anyway.
I said no.
I do not
I
care.
don't know what you overheard, but the Riverwood
But
Trader.
I saw a dragon.
You expect me to believe that?
Now this is a mod that I enjoy. It's called More to Say, and it actually gives you more to say to almost everyone, because Skyrim has such a small pool of voice actors. You can. How do you feel
The
about
folk of the Empire have always had a more cosmopolitan view of the world, so I'm glad to see them.
Since Lucan Valerius is not only an imperial, he's a merchant.
I think I have a few old spell books laying about. If you want more, you'll have to go to the College of Winterhold.
Oh, trust me, I plan on it. We'll keep the sword with us, because if we're going to be a mage, a staff mage, we're going to need that. We'll sell the imperial stuff and the rose spun tunic. Hopefully he has some actual boots. I know we can bum some off of Alvor, but we need all of that. We don't need that. Let's see. Clairvoyance we can pick up in Embershard Mine. Frostbite we might as well. Now, Lesser Ward would be nice, but Oak Flesh, that's going to be interesting, because we're going to be, you know what, that's a shame. I don't think that even if we sell all of our potions, we'll be able to afford that. But if we make some more potions later, that might change. Well, we can pick up another sword. There we go. Good. So now, we have a bit more.
I better get back to cleaning the store. What a mess.
You really should. Now,
Maybe
Camilla.
you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Never. You're not from
I
Skyrim.
came here from the Imperial Province to work with my brother Lucan.
Good.
It
Why
got
did you
bad
leave?
back in Cyrodiil. The war with the Thalmor ruined everything. Now I just want to put
Really?
the whole nasty business behind me.
And that gives Camilla just that much more of relevance as a character, because you couldn't have this conversation with her before. What do you think
I
about
came
the
to
war?
Skyrim looking for a better life. So what did I get? Another war. This really isn't turning out the way I'd hoped. I just want to find a good husband and start a family of my own.
Yeah. And now you can get a better idea. You can do that with all sorts. Like, Sven's mother is not there. But Sven,
Feynman thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him.
yeah, so what do you do when you're not working?
I've been trained as a skald, as was my father and my father's father before him. You should come hear me play at the Sleeping Giant Inn. For a small sum, you can even pick the song.
Where did you
At the
train?
Bard's College in Solitude. They train bards and skalds like myself. My time at the Bard's College was brief. A prodigy has little need for formal education.
So you see, there are so many. Just you can. Now I saw Dragon and Helgen. That was Vanilla. You and Faendal both like the same girl. That's Vanilla. Fresh Supplies, I think, is Vanilla. And then I don't think that you're able to ask him how to get to Whiterun.
Just head
from
north. You can't miss it.
See?
Lucan's got a little bit of everything at the Riverwood Trader. If you need weapons or armor, see Alvor, the blacksmith. Until next time.
But we need to get our free stuff from Alvor. Speaking of,
Sigrid, we have company.
Hadvar, we've been so worried about you.
this is actually written by a bard in Whiterun, which is hilarious.
Oh, you two must be hungry.
We'll take that.
Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Now then, boy, what's the big mystery? What are you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a cave bear?
I don't know where to start. You know I was... And to General Tullius' skull. We were stopped in Helgen when we were attacked by a dragon.
A dragon? That's ridiculous. You want... Oh, are you, boy?
Husband, let him tell his story.
Not much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I'd made it out myself if not for my friend here. I need to get back to Solitude and let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Supplies, a place to stay.
Of course. Any friend of Hadvar's is a friend of mine. Glad to help however I can.
Glad to hear it.
Like I said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. But I need your help. We need your help.
Of course. I'll absolutely take all this stuff that I can sell. No enchanted item, though. That's a shame.
The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Of course. You see, that's very nice. So, here we go. This is Vanilla. Oh, there you go.
Rightly stirred up about the damn Thalmor being... But was it... Nords have always supported the Empire. And the
That was
Empire has
also-
always been good for Skyrim.
But what materials do you craft with?
Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff to the elves.
What sorts of things do you
Whatever
make?
you need. I could Whether it's armor you need or a new blade, come see me.
And this is all things that you can do to really...
Did you really see a dragon? What did it look like?
Make yourself at home.
Sigrid. Huh. This is probably going to end badly. You're looking lovely today, Sigrid.
I'm spoken for, you know, so don't get any ideas.
Very good.
I do. You know, I was thinking of expanding the herb garden. Maybe I'll do turnips next. Or maybe radishes.
I didn't know. Carrots, rutabaga. I wonder if ash yams would
Don't
grow
matter
here.
what I grow. My Alvar, he'll eat anything. I do. You know, I was thinking of... Maybe I'll do turnips next. It don't matter what I grow. My Alvar, he'll eat anything.
Can you tell me about your
Alvar
family?
and I, we got a daughter. Little Dorothy. My girl likes to work the forge with her papa. Dorothy needs to spend more time in the garden. I could use the help.
And it's through these little interactions that I love. Usually, really, especially with Sigrid here, all of that is idle conversation that you would hear when you pass her by. Now you can trigger it and actually experience it, guaranteed.
Hush, child. Don't pester your cousin.
It's nice to be back in a friendly spot, huh?
We survived a dragon
I
attack.
still almost can't believe it. A real live dragon. Are your ears still ringing? I hope that goes away. Be careful on the way to Solitude. Damn Stormcloaks could be anywhere.
Absolutely.
Damn Stormcloak rebels.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, I wonder what Dorothy would tell us.
Keep an eye out for trouble.
Oh,
it's
gosh.
only a matter of
Hi there.
Hello. Do you live
My
here in
father is
Riverwood?
Alvor, the blacksmith. I'm his assistant. I mean apprentice.
Okay. Oh, there you go. A dragon destroyed
Dragon?
Helton.
Really? Was it big? Did it breathe fire? Oh wow, I knew it! I knew they were real! I have to remember to tell Papa!
Yeah. Now, doesn't your mother need
Not
your
my
help in the
problem.
garden?
Mama doesn't think I'm girlish enough. But that's just stupid girl talk. Someday, I'm going to forge my own sword.
You know, I'd really appreciate it if Dorothy and even the other kid, we'll go talk to him, if they ended up, after a time jump, being, you know, warriors like that in either Hammerfell or High Rock, wherever Elder Scrolls 6 takes
Papa
place.
may have wanted a son, but he got me. He's a lucky man. Ain't nothing
Well,
up
good.
to do that I can't do better.
I think that's very nice,
Until
Dorothy.
next time.
Frodnar, right?
Around
Yeah.
here, so I'll go easy on you, but don't get on my bad side.
Okay, well, did you have anything to do with the break-in at the Riverwood Trader?
Sure I did, and I'd do it again.
I think
I
you're
don't
lying.
Take that from you. Get me mad, and I'll prank you. And not a little, a lot.
Were you planning any pranks?
Sure I am. We got some furs and tree branches, paint them white, and then tie them to stone. Instant frostbite spider.
Yeah, Dorothy didn't think that was a very good
My friend
idea.
Dorothy doesn't like my pranking. You're being mean, Frodnar. So what if I am? You just wait. My new pranks are going to be the best ever. You'll see.
Alright, well, after all your pranking, what do you want to be when you grow
Are
up?
you a soldier? One day, I'm going to be a soldier.
And what does your mother think
My
about
mother
that?
taught me the millwork trade. You know, which trees to cut and which ones to pass up. Mother wants me to work at the mill, but I ain't nobody's slave.
Wow. Gerder isn't a slave
Are you a
driver.
soldier? One day, I'm... Hope this war lasts long enough that I get to fight in it. Battle. Glory. I'm not afraid of anyone. Put a sword in my hand and I could defend this place if I had to. Until next time.
Defending is one thing, but being told to put another village to the sword, that changed your life, kid. Oh, well, that went that went a little bit darker than I'd liked. Well, we have quite a bit of alchemical ingredients. And I think that stepping into the inn would be a little helpful. Alright, so let's see here. Bear claws, restore stamina, damage, restore. Ooh, that messed me up. Oh, that's stealing. That's not usually stealing. That's interesting. And from the unofficial patch, you always gotta watch out about the unofficial patch. Alright, well, before we...
Borgnar, are you listening?
Hard not to.
Oh, did you need something?
Oh,
Yes?
Miner.
What can I do for you?
Oh, this is a part of the extended encounters, so you'll have travelers that will visit and
Welcome.
change
Let me
around.
know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
You're that visitor been poking around.
Yeah, well, do you have a problem with outsiders?
I'm the innkeeper. It's my business to keep track of strangers. We don't get a lot
That's
of
fair.
Most of my customers are locals, come here to relax after a hard day's toil.
Well, do you get many suspicious travelers, like some miners?
The war keeps most folks away these days. So what's your story? Just here to relax?
I'm an adventurer. Trouble seems to follow me. Or I'm a fugitive from Helgen, which was destroyed by a dragon. Maybe not tell that. I'm just passing through.
I should have guessed. Right then.
You should have.
If you're staying the night, I've got a free room.
Not today. Imperial Post Deposit. That's right. I've got an in-game.
We got rooms and food.
I've got an in-game newsletter, like the Black Horse Courier.
Drink
from
too.
Oblivion.
Can I get you something?
Yeah. Oh, Delphine's not very trusting.
That's
is she?
her business, not mine. Probably not yours either. Between you and me, she could use a bit of warmth.
Well, not your singing, your song, but you know what I'm talking about.
You do realize these simpletons wouldn't know real music if it bit them in the britches, hmm? Very well. Your wish is my command.
Wonderful. And let's not have this chat again next week. Agreed?
So, immersive citizens allows them to dialogue more. It's really nice. Now, before she starts doing that, let's review the new alchemy tree. 20% stronger. Physician. Oh, there you go. 50% stronger. Probably going to be magic potions. Magica. Stimulants. 2% of your magica. Experimenter. Eating an item reveals all effects. And that's unlocked at level 30 instead of the entire thing, which is fantastic. Witchmaster side effects have 50% chance to cause side effects themselves. Oh. Interesting.
You're that visitor been poking around.
I am. So I want Restore Magica, Restore Health, and then we'll... There we go. Okay. Well, that's working pretty good.
Out of my way, stranger.
Yeah? Well, Dragon destroyed
You should
Helgen.
try that bit on the barkeep. Maybe get yourself a free drink. I don't know you. Forget it. I don't do that kind of work.
Well, sounds like you're just like a lazy drunk.
You're kind of fuzzy. What's wrong with you? Hey, my hangover is gone. But damn if I ain't almost sober. Got any ale or mead?
There you go. Hunting brew mead.
Until next time.
Now we're best friends. Okay. Well, so we've got most of that. Now, we have not prayed. We're just that much more adored by our patron deity. So, let's... We'll clear Ember Shard Mine, get the Clairvoyance spell. That way we can at least get an Illusion Magic spell. And then we'll start heading toward the College of Winterhold. I really want to see how stable that area is. Yes, my stamina is low. Really need to level up once. Wow, that almost completely drained me of magic. Now, if I don't do a magic character, I'll probably go and do the Nord playthrough. Though, I really want to give a mage playthrough a really good try. I've also got the Apocalypse Magic of Skyrim mod installed, so there's that. It is a surprise. Slow your roll. There we go. Garnet. And that way, maybe we get a little bit more gold before we get to Windhelm. Or Winterhold, actually. Now, for the sake of time, I might just take a carriage. But if we get 1,000 gold by the time we get there, I may show off convenient horses. Alright, well, let's try this. Alright. Good deal. And already we've got our sword back. Fly Amadia, coin purse, and a tattered journal. Oh, if I'm going a bit fast, it's just because this is a test stream. And really, I'm very surprised with how stable the playthrough is so far. I expected a crash by now. Nords have frost resistance. I can't really use that on him. That's nice, though. Cooked beef. Ah, nice. Now, I jump up here. There we go. Now, with a smelter, I could break this stuff down, which would be nice, because of the smithing overhaul mod I have, which is fantastic, by the way. Oh yeah, Khajiit. Reminds me, I have the best follower mod for this game, Inigo, installed. Now that's interesting. Scroll of Flame Strike. A storm of 24 meteoric fireballs rains down from the heavens. Only works outdoors. That's powerful. Staff of Hailstones. Now this, I believe, is not the Creation Club, but Apocalypse Magic of Skyrim, because of the magical effect. Alright, let's take a look here. Good deal. I'm gonna go with magic. I think we'll go with destruction. Let's see how much more powerful this is. Yeah. Alright. Oh, hello. And then... there we are. So as far as a build goes, this is a pretty decent one. I'm probably about to my carry weight limit, actually. Now, if we go back in here, there's a little treasure room. Leather scout armor. Interesting. Conjure Craft Lord. Dwemer Sage turn Nern. Modify its stats with the reconfigured Craft Lord spell. Huh. Interesting. An Amulet of Julianos. Good. We can increase our magic further. Now there is a spell, or light armor forging. We love it. I can show off all the different, there we go, things you can make. Shellbug. Now with this mod, you get to reimagine the categories, which is very good. And you also don't have to split up between material types. This can get a little less than ideal later on, but for the purposes of this character, it's not too bad. Now, you do earn the ability to craft much more detailed jewelry, like the Bonehawk amulet, but now the Bonehawk ring. Circlets, based on what you like. And miscellaneous stuff, like you can make lockpicks now, which is pretty cool. And the more you get into that, the more, that type of gameplay will open up to you. But that is everything here. Now I believe, and I may be wrong, with this mod, I missed that right there. But with this mod, I believe that you gain crafting experience from disassembling weapons and armor, which, if you're doing a very crafting heavy character, is probably more worth it than just selling the stuff outright. But to each his own. Let's see. Right, top Italia. And we can probably begin our journey to the College of Winterhold. Here's a good example. The tanning rack. I believe you can disassemble that into crafting materials, and you see I got a little bit of experience there. The same is true for pelts. So now we've pumped out a couple of those, and I would be able to now craft whatever I'd like out of the leather materials instead. For example, light armor, we go down here to the scout armor through the Creation Club. Very nice armor, very stout. And now if we have a companion, we've got that. And if I needed some more lockpicks, I can do that pretty simply. Now, for weapons and armor, to deconstruct those, you would have to visit a smelter. But we don't have any of that at the moment. Though, now, I can begin this playstyle. We like that. We like that a lot. But to really begin our journey, we should probably sell some of the excess that we've gathered. Which doesn't really matter, probably not, but it'll make it easier to get to Winterhold. Because we are the lowest of the... Oh, the patch hits again. They're not open. Wow, this stream has gone by so fast. That's the difference between something like Assassin's Creed and Skyrim. You can really lose yourself in Skyrim a whole lot faster than you can something, you know, kind of less detailed. Differently detailed. Like Assassin's Creed.
My sister Camilla or I will be happy to help you.
Oh, this is fun. Did you know that Faendal and Sven are competing for Camilla's affection?
Camilla, really? You don't have better things to do? Because I could certainly find quite a few tasks. Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
We love it. Alright, Lucan. Here you go. Take this stuff off me. Speech increase. That's very important as well. Believe it or not. Because speech almost immediately goes into shouts. Give you some of that back with I want Fury, Lesser Ward, and Raise Zombie. That way, I can now sell you that, and that.
Damn. As if things weren't bad enough.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Oh, Sven's here to shop. Interesting. Now, a Fury, good, Raise Zombie, and the Lesser Ward. Now, we will also pump that into Magicka. Now, let's take a look at Speechcraft, actually. Because at level 20, we have And the Universe Listens. Shouting restores points of health, magicka, and stamina equal to your shout cooldown in seconds. You also gain experience in speech when shouting based on your shout cooldown. Windborn. Shouting summons up a divine wind, granting 30% extra attack damage and 15% increased movement speed for 15 seconds. This effect stacks. Hurricane Force. Shouts that affect others are 1% more powerful per level of speech. Force Redoubled. 25% chance to reduce the cooldown of any shout to 3 seconds. Thume of War. Your shouts stagger nearby enemies within 25 feet, reducing armor rating by 300 points for 10 seconds and knocking enemies below 25% health to the ground. Dovazulan. Now, I believe there should be some Horn of Sovngarde. No, Gift of Kinnereth. No. I could have sworn that you can use this tree to reduce your shouting cost, but I suppose not. Now, that's all fine and good. I think that illusion magic will be our next big thing. Because, there we are. Silent Storm. All spells you cast from any school of magic are silent to others. That's huge. Because Giovanni, in addition to being a mage, will also be able to use illusion to be a great thief. Now, mind effects activate sleeping victims to steal their dreams. Interesting. Kindred Mage. A Dream Thrall. Wow. That's interesting. Well, I'm not sure. We could begin down the path of the restoration, which would allow us to I'm really not sure. Now, that would be interesting to start with alteration. You know, I almost never save a perk. I might save it, but I could already begin to do destruction mastery. Destruction spells cost 50% less magic. That'd be huge. Already from the top, all spells that I ever learn. Though that could be fair to say of illusion magic as well. There's some very powerful illusion magics. Or I could begin speech or alchemy, really. That's hard. Descending Light. When you enter combat, so, when you enter combat, rapidly regenerate points of magicka equal to half of your restoration skill. So, 25, 12.5 per second. This effect gradually diminishes over the course of 15 seconds, but the regeneration does not stop while casting. Oh. Edgewalker. Though Spirit Tutors would be very good. Then again, we could begin to do enchanting, but I don't even have the supplies to even begin that. You know what? We'll go ahead and do... Ancient seals. We'll save it for now. Because I gotta get to testing the rest of this mod list. I kind of want to use Fury on something. Did I hit it? That's interesting. Huh. I wonder if I cast Fury on a bunny. There should be a bunny up here. Yeah, fight each other. They did kill the bunny. Wow. A random encounter. I do have a few mods that increase the variety and add some of the random encounters that you experience on the road. So that is also something I could test. So I might not take the carriage, but I might make a beeline straight for that area. Hunting Brew Meadery. Yes, Imar. Lots of people don't know who you are. Wow, look at that weather. These are great for alchemy. You know, that's something I want to do, is alchemy. So let's go ahead and make you stronger.
Good enough.
Did I get credit for that?
You look strong. Come to your Basker and be a companion.
Ayala?
You handle yourself well. You could make for
Good.
a decent brother.
Hello. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the chat. Lovely to have you. Are you also a fan of Skyrim?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough. Well, nobody asked you. See what a warrior of true metal is like.
We're doing a little bit of a mod test here. Now, this is actually kind of interesting. John Battleborn is going to walk out here and meet with Olivia or Ophenia. I can't ever remember her first name. She's the strong Nord woman. Yeah, they meet in secret, like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
Welcome to you. I wish I could say that I did not. Take a look. In every part of Skyrim, there is talk of dragon sightings. It is no coincidence.
Alright. We'll sell that. Let's see, what kind of books do you have, friend? Nothing I need. Any apparel? You may have apparel I need. No. Well, that is a shame.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
You as well.
Surrender, be merciful. What will vision that we should do now? While we are still trying to make a living.
We are fortunate. We travel lightly and can escape at a moment's notice. We have no home that the dragon and burn can devour.
I feel pity for these lords. When the dragons attack cities and towns, they will lose everything.
And we will lose.
Hey there, Ray. How are
Let us
you?
hope that if there are dragons, there are only a few, and they are not too foul-tempered.
what goods I offer.
Sleeping a little stressed. Still stressed out about the laundry. I'm sorry. Or maybe it's something else. Ah, a guard.
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only.
I hate that for you. I hope that everything is better.
Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Purple mountain flowers. But yeah, we're doing a little bit of a... It is a little... Good. We're doing a little bit of a mod test for stability.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
Who's this? Is this Sinmir? Yeah.
Can I help you?
I don't know. What do you think about the
Ulfric's
war?
a bloody hero. I don't think there's a worthy Nord alive who dare argue the point.
Interesting. What do you think this city will be able to withstand an attack?
The security in Whiterun is terrible. Shameful is what it is. The guards in this city are all lazy and undisciplined. Things need to change.
Commander Kaya seems pretty confident in the guards.
Walks around Dragon's Reach like a preening rooster. I could do his job blindfolded.
Interesting.
Stay out of trouble.
Now you see, that is very, very cool because I was explaining this earlier before you got in here, Ray. I have a dialogue enhancement overhaul that allows you to prompt some of the random dialogue that all these NPCs have, and it allows you to kind of like get to know like the individual character based off of how they were presented, you know, before all that. Now there is, admittedly, one great part of this that is just priceless. If we can find him, Nazim, where art thou?
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to
Oh,
find that
tea.
beast den. I can't stop now, and I can't get the sword on my own.
So you're
Now Nazim is the very pompous red guard who always wonders if you get to the Cloud District very often. Oh, what are you saying? Of course you don't. That guy.
or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate,
Whoa.
I won't be here when you return.
Saphir, wait,
Poor Amron. He just wants his family's honor.
I don't have any money.
You better give me 5 septims right now, or I'm gonna bloody your nose.
No, please. I really don't have any money, Brave. I'll give you 10 septims tomorrow. Just don't hit me.
10 septims tomorrow, baby Battleborn, or I'm gonna bloody your nose and your lip.
Child, well, number one, you need to be not so mean to people. You need to grow a freaking spine, kid. Watch. That'll be the High King of Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls 6. Oh.
Yes?
Companions.
Getting tired of hanging around talking.
Now, where are you, Nazim? I know you're here. He's nowhere to be found. That's interesting. Hello, Isolde. Best marryable female Nord in the game. but she's a secret drug dealer, and I didn't find that out until 2 years into playing this game.
Got a pretty good stock of potions and alchemy reagents.
Well, good. Good for you. I'm going to use your table and not buy anything. That is true. There we are.
Browse to your... What can I help you with, my friend?
Well, I feel strange. Do I seem all right?
You might be sick. I sell cures for all ills, and I'll be happy to serve you.
Well, what do you think I have?
If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed. Don't worry. I've got something for just about everything.
You see, none of that was originally recorded to be put like that, but the modders used a bunch of her different dialogue strings and strung it together so you can ask her all sorts of things. Like, how do you feel about the war?
These Stormcloaks are nothing more than an armed mob. This war won't last much longer.
Very immersive.
So you're an alchemist, then?
I will be as soon as I level up some more, you best believe. So, what I do is I make poisons of damage magic resistance, and I sell them back for more gold. That way, I can, I can level up my speech to make it cheaper, but I can also buy out her entire ingredients stock and continue to make potions I don't use. But,
Come back anytime if you need a remedy.
can level me up quite a bit. Alright, so I can do those. I don't really like that, though. So we're going to try tasting some ingredients. Damage. Anything I haven't tried before, I usually just eat, because if I ever find it again, I just consumed moon sugar. That's a hardcore drug. That's terrifying. I walk that off like nothing. Now, if I mix the wheat and the blisterwort, I will actually get a health potion.
If there's anything I can help you with, you have but to ask.
Now, that didn't really help me a whole lot, unfortunately, but...
Pardon me, but do I detect a case of the So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
I can sell that back. I can sell these. That's pretty good.
Good day.
So,
Nothing of our struggle.
we're pretty stable. Pretty stable. So, let's head up to Dragon's Reach. This poor child's an orphan. I cannot talk to her. I feel bad. Oh, but we have not prayed. Let's pray. Pray to Julianos. Now that's another thing. I have a religion mod active, which is very interesting. It allows you to do a lot of things.
You're not thinking of
Radicaius.
causing trouble here in this beautiful city now, are you? Because I'd strongly
Of course
advise
not.
against such foolishness.
It's foolishness. How is the security in Whiterun? There's a guy named Sidmir down there. He doesn't think you're shit.
Don't you worry. I'm the commander of the guard here in Whiterun. My boys will keep you
Good.
safe.
I hope so.
Till next time.
Yeah. I have a feeling that either he would be the most helpful person in a battle, or he'd be the first one laying down in the mud. I don't know which though. Whiterun Castle, Dragon's Reach. Very reminiscent of Rohan from The Lord of the Rings.
What would you have me do then?
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruuf is not receiving visitors.
Yes, but does he receive destiny? I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack.
That explains why the guards let you in. Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Of course he would. Y'all broke Gulf.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
I did. I had a great view while the Imperials were trying to cut off my head. I would never tell that to the head of any kind of government. But you know, I will blame it on Ulfric Stormcloak. The Imperials, they were about to execute him, and then the dragon attacked.
I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
Yeah, Proventus.
My lord,
against a dragon?
send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate
You pompous,
danger.
bald-headed fop.
The dragon is lurking in the mountains.
Those of you who weren't here at character creation, I'm getting there.
Assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not.
I'll not stand idly by while a dragon burns my hold and
Burns my hold and slaughters my people.
Send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem.
Steel armor?
Here's another thing you
For a
can do
mage? Man, thank you.
Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Just open his eyes. Use subtlety and suggestion to turn his thoughts to the wall. Your is good. We listen.
Enchanting. I don't know enough about nothing.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
Oh no.
So the Jarl thinks
Children.
you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there.
He is so pretentious. Like, I don't know that this has something to do with dragons. I'm a scholar. What do you take me for? A brute? I don't have a hairline.
Ah, no mere brute mercenary, but a thinker. Perhaps even a scholar? You see, when the story... One sure mark, but I began to search for it. I go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet,
That's
no
good.
doubt interred
That's
in the main
fine.
chamber, and so you wish
What do you have
to
for
master the
sale?
arcane art.
That's what I want to know. Now that is an addition to the game by the Creation Club. Novice Robes of Conjuration and Illusion. Very powerful stuff. But, let's take a look. Alarm. Atronach Mark. Azure Reconstruction. Backlash. What's that? Target interrupts spellcaster. If a spell is interrupted, the target is hit by the... Oh, wow. Bone Spirit. Well, that wouldn't be bad. Now, Calm. I need Calm. And Candlelight. I don't really need Choking Grasp, but That'd be a good novice. Absorb health spell. Spell? Circle of Strength. No. Avenging Wraith? No. Courage? Crackle. Drop Zone is hilarious. Fast Healing? Inferno. Long Stride is nice. Mage Light is also nice. Mind Vision. Oh yeah, no, I don't need that. Muffle. Huge. Mystic Wind. For 10 seconds, restores 5 points of magicka per second while the caster is sprinting. Perilous Path. Oh, Spike Barrier. Yes. Raise Wall. Also interesting. Soul Cloak. Wild Healing. Yeah. Wither. This is the magic expansion. It's huge. Book Calm. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad that you're less stressed. Let's see. We'll go ahead and get Firebolt. That's helpful. Now, Dispel Magic is an interesting one, but I don't know if I'm going to do it. Bound Sword would be a great one. And, you know, I think that's going to be it. Unless I get Conjure Familiar, but it's more of a distraction than anything. Elemental Bolt, nah. Flare, ooh, maybe. Fast Healing can't. Fear. Ooh, Fear would be good. I can't believe I didn't buy that. I've got Fury. Now, I don't have Ghost Walk, but that's kind of very niche. Hailstone, Healing, I need a cheaper one. We've got Long Stride. Pale Shadow. Huh. Perilous Path. Yeah. No. We've already got Raised Zombie. Rift Bolt. Oh, wow. That'd be cool. Slay Living. Oh, wow. Thought Steal. Interesting. Unbounded Fire. I suppose not.
You know, if you've got priority.
Magicka again. And let's see what we've got. Bound Sword, Calm, Candlelight, Choking Grasp, Firebolt, Long Stride, and Muffle. Now, since this is a mod test, I'm not going to be like super hard on myself. Muffle is a great way to speed level illusion. And if I do this, by the time we make it to Windhelm or Winterhold, we might be a master of illusion. I vacuum so my dad won't immediately die. Well, that's good. Vacuum. Also gets to talk to you at work. He who shan't be named. Yeah, how I'm trying to be as a spell tome. Slay the living. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah. Illusion is powerful. be level 5 by the time we get to the carriage. Love it. Yeah, what'd he say? Iconic hands, yes. How nicely manicured as well are my iconic hands. Yeah, look at that pure mage showing. Alright. 50% less magicka. Good. How much gold do I have? Yeah, we got enough. Well, you know what? We can walk. It's not that bad. Also, this is another mod I love. This is the Vivid Quality World Map. You're able to see so much better because it kind of like tells the clouds to chill a little bit. And look. That you can follow the path from Ivarstead all the way up the throat of the world. And there, it rendered in real time as High Hrothgar, which it's rendered anyway, but you never get to see it because it's all blurry. In the 11th hour, he came over and said, "I came to annoy you," and then mentioned fixing your glasses. And what did you say? I want to hear the sass. Also, unrelated, if you go right up here, there is a secret pass right here that allows you to circumvent this entire bullcrap. It's amazing. But we are heading to the north, far to the north. Very dangerous route, actually. Horribly dangerous. But we're going to do it. You see, this path wouldn't be so bad, but this one's terribly dangerous. So we're gonna try to do something. If we had 1,000 horses, 1,000 horses, ha ha ha. Did you really? Really? Respectfully, I'm gonna break yours, she said. And then the man never spoke again out of shame. Hello, Uthgerd, the Unbroken. And Ayala, the Huntress. Now, what did he say in response to that? Right. I would love for him to try and take you to HR, because then you can just bring all the women who are like, yeah, he's a perv, he's a creep. That's right, viewers. Always speak out against workplace sexual harassment. It's not okay. It doesn't mean you're cool. It doesn't mean that you're a hit with the ladies. It just means you're a piece of trash. Good. Good. Because when called out, they'll revert to what they actually are. They're small, pathetic men. They know. They know what they're doing. Absolutely they know what they're doing. And they're ashamed to be called out for it. Good, commit a crime. Because he committed one first. I don't know, that was pretty imposing of a presence for you to have. Battleborn Farm. I wish I could tip their cow like you can in Fallout. I'm pretty sure it still works in Skyrim. I just can't remember the command. Oh ho ho!
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I think that the ambient music track stopped. What is that? Go horns. Now this is actually a player home that is added by the Creation Club, made by a very famous modder called Eleonora. She does fantastic work. You should see the inside of that house. I'm too poor to afford. It's fantastic. The Tundra Homestead. It has a subterranean, like, trophy room. Super immersive. Now, as long as there's one bee, it will continue to make more bees and honeycomb. I think of tipping cows and only think of Barnyard. You know, that's a really underrated movie that people forgot. You're on a cow farm. You're going to see cows on a cow farm. Oh. There's a fox, but there's a person. I bet this is a dark elf named Faldris.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura, the goddess of
I'm
twilight,
so good.
if you'll excuse me.
Yeah, well, where is
In the
shrine?
mountains to the northeast. I'll mark it on your map.
You should. Because let me tell you, when you see this place at distance, it's insane. There are bandits. What am I doing? Now, if I had fear, I could totally make him run away. It's a shame. You know, he sure did. That was one of the first Johnny Cash songs I had ever realized was a Johnny Cash song being sang by a cow. And you don't think that cows are very, like, dangerous ever. But then you meet that cow and you're like, oh, move indeed. I do have calm, don't I? I do imposing presence. We'll see how that affects things. Cicero, calm yourself.
Ah, bother and befuddle! Stuck here, stuck! My mother, my poor mother. Unmoving, at rest, but too still.
This man is the greatest NPC in the game, in my opinion. You wouldn't know it. This man's an assassin. And absolutely as crazy as he sounds.
Oh, poor Cicero is stuck. Can't you see? I was transporting my dear, sweet mother. Well, not her. Her corpse. She's quite dead. I'm taking Mother to a new home, a new crypt, but... Ah! Wagon wheel! Damnedest wagon wheel! Don't you see?
Arthur Morgan had a similar problem. I broke a damn wheel.
Oh, yes! Yes, the
This is the man.
can certainly help. Go to the farm, the Lorius farm, just over there off the road. Talk to Lorius. He has tools. He can help me, but he won't. He refuses. Convince Lorius to fix my wheel. Do that, and poor Cicero will reward you with coin. Gleamy, shiny coin.
So here's the thing. Lorius. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Norman Bates. Nah, man. Norman Bates looks completely fine compared to Cicero, who, by the way, is shorter than any other Imperial. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about this whole situation here. Wagon wheel. Broken. Horse. There. Box. Full. Lorius thinks that Cicero is insane and transporting drugs and or contraband in the box. We're in the middle of a civil war in Skyrim, and you know what? This guy is dressed as a jester. But he's such a good son, because that is actually a mother of his in the box in a coffin. Look at that. That's a big moon. I believe that's Secunda. There's another moon, but it's still over the horizon. But yeah, it's actually he's actually transporting a corpse. Don't be deceived. Chicken, you need to calm down. Oh, love it. Lorius? Now, there are two ways that this quest can go. You can convince Lorius to fix the wheel, or you can turn him into the guard. If you turn Cicero into the guard, Cicero will come out, break out of prison, and butcher these two farmers.
Oh, for the love
you
of
can come
Mara,
back and they'll
what
just
now?
be dead. You need to calm down.
Oh, for the love of Mara, what now?
The little man really needs your help with his wagon.
That Cicero fella? Huh, tell me something I don't know. Crazy fool's already asked me about 5 times. Seems he's not satisfied with my answer. Why can't he just leave us alone? Hey, and he's transporting some giant box. Says it's a coffin, and he's going to bury his mother. Mother, my eye. Could have anything in there. War contraband, weapons, skooma? Ain't no way I'm getting involved in any of that.
Yeah, well, he's a stranger who needs assistance. Please do the right thing.
And just who in Mara's name are you, anyway? Hmm? Come here, telling me my business. And for what? To help a fool?
You know you should help.
Look, Yes, you're right. Fella might be nutters, might not. But fact is, he needs help. I turned him away. What kind of a man am I, huh? Look, thanks. And I'm sorry for my unneighborly reaction.
Talk
If you
to
talk
my
to
husband.
Cicero, you be sure to
Then
tell
to
him I'll be
Lorius.
down to help soon.
Or just Lorius.
Now, I help Cicero because if you do, he'll recognize you later if you join his guild. And that's always nice. Also, I like money.
Poor mother. Her home seems so very far.
for your kind deed, and thank you again.
Delayed burial. How much gold was that? 250. Not bad. Alright, just a little bit more, and I think we're going to get level 40. And for that, we probably want to do either wilting by a calm spell or effect within the radius of imposing presence. Nice. Now, I might do Kindred Mage, actually. Because I don't have a follower, unfortunately. Hello, friend. Let's see. We're going to start with Fireball. Oh! Oh. Well, that's not good. And those are the dangers of not leveling up your health. Unfortunately. Alright. We do need to hurry on to Winter Hold. Just for the simple fact that we've almost been streaming for 3 hours. It'll be 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's almost 10 o'clock my time. On the eastern coast of America.
Is there any way
Gotta
you'd
love it.
rather spend the day than drinking honey brew mead?
Yes.
Drink honey brew mead with a winch on each arm?
Oh, he thinks he's the funniest guy in the room. That's a bandit lair. That is a bandit lair. Ooh. You know, that'd be fun to turn them all against each other.
Never should have come here.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Gonna split your belly like an old first.
Go on.
You won't get the best of me.
Good.
Need something?
Yeah, there you go. Oh. Oh well.
What do you want, Imperial?
Probably enough time to kill one of you. Let's see. There's one. Go ahead. You know what? I'll do oak flesh. Level that up while we're at it. Man, your aim is terrible. Are you not? You can't roll. But the game is holding up really well. I'm very surprised. It's a good thing, don't get me wrong. I'm very impressed with the stability that I'm getting out of this. Ooh.
The Legion's always looking for strong, capable warriors. If you think you've got what it takes, headquarters is in Solitude.
Well done. Immersive patrols. You don't usually see an Imperial captain with them. This is the old patrol. No, this is the Night Gate Inn. Now, we can go this way, which is, it's okay. Pretty dangerous. Or, you kind of get a mixed bag if you go up this way. So we're going to go up this way. Just to see. Wow. This weather. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see. Do we have any friends? Vigilance of Stendar. Would you look at that?
You speak to a Vigilant of Stendar. Cavort with any Daedra, and we will hunt you down.
Will ya? Well, you seem like you're out here by yourself. Do I have Dispel? I don't. But I do have Longstride. I don't know why I haven't been using that.
Stendar's mercy be upon you, for the Vigil has none to say.
I'm in a good mood. Look at that. Oh, look at that. We love it. Now I'm going to do this and run it right into a random encounter and have no magic. We hope not. We hope not. That's a vampire. No, it's just a necromancer. Good. Ooh. You know what? Wow. I didn't even deserve it. Though, I will take that. And those. Nice. This would be a great time to, I could have been using that the entire time. Huh. Necromancy. Open your eyes. Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say. Now, if I'm right, I can double up on some of these effects. That should have given me some conjuration XP. No, it did not. Wow. Okay. You win some, you lose some. Off tab. Okay, anyone who's not been in that lighthouse, beware. That is one of the scariest environments in the entire game. And I don't play horror games. I'm a chicken. Which, you know, if it gets requested, of course I will. But generally, I stay in the nicer places like Skyrim. Oh no, Ice Wolf. Great. Now you know, I may be able to use this. Now fight your friend. Good. Oh no. Ooh. Unpleasant. There's the Shrine of Azura. For anyone who cared. What's my alteration? Barely anything. Great. Now, kind of a cool thing right here. I saw this as we were walking up. This mammoth is half frozen. It is being thawed out slowly. Super. Super cool. Now this area is a little bit dangerous, simply because of frost trolls. I don't think... Well, if I had some wood to knock on, I would. But I don't. So I won't. But I'm pretty sure that they're not around this area. At this level, at least, it should just be the wolves. Sarthal will be here soon. Hopefully. Ooh, let's try not to die. Nice. Which means we're not too far away from Winterhold. That's good. Ah. Now, choking grass may help us here. Woo. The power of absorb health. Absolutely. I need some serious training in healing magic. What is that? Well, plot twist, will Giovanni become an amateur swordsman through this? Maybe. love the look of the College of Winterhold. It's just the content.
You'd have me do what? Join the college and prance podcast and spell all day?
We don't prance, sir.
Where do you think you're going?
To the inn for a drink.
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous.
My own peril?
The gate will not open. You shall not
Your new empire? What is this place?
Forgive me.
You are.
Most who arrive
Forgiven.
here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand. This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for major. I am here, and if the more important question is, perhaps, but what is it you expect to find within?
You know, I just wanted to see what it looks like
Huh.
inside.
Humor is often in short supply here. But I sense that perhaps you're after more than just that. It would seem that not just anyone. A small test, if you will. No, I'm afraid I don't know. The Flame Atronach is a vital companion for anyone relying on conjuration. So,
I don't know that spell.
Or you can try your luck with one of the court. Here you are. Now I'm anxious to see you cast it.
I hope I can.
No matter what. Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college. Welcome, apprentice. I'll lead you
Thank you.
across the bridge. Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle Irvine, our master wizard. Please, follow me.
Okay. I will follow. Let me get rid of this, Oh, that's funny. I'll get rid of you first. Ooh, that's not gonna work out, is it? Woo! It's fine. It's fine. I've got it under control. I don't know what you're talking about. College curriculum? School of Conjuration? What? Oh yes, I have that college curriculum school. You can receive training. That's right. And it helps you level up, which in Restoration I feel like it's very needed, actually. Huh. Well, you know, let's go to Restoration, actually. Because I need some help with that. This was another one of the college curriculum things I wanted to try. So we can speak with Dravis and Colette. Now I want to
You
talk.
consider Restoration a valid school of magic, worthy of study, don't you? Don't you?
That is why I'm here. Of course
Good.
it's valid.
Good. Not that I require validation, of course. There are just some, and I shan't name names, who would disagree. It can make life difficult when one's colleagues fail to recognize the research one engages in.
Absolutely. Can you teach me Restoration magic? No. You suddenly clammed up.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, using the healing spell in combat. That's hilarious. Well, the quickest way I can do that is actually up here. Believe it or not. Because if I conjure this from Atronach, and I choking grasp and healing. Ooh, okay, I might die. Ooh. There we go. Go on then. Yeah. That's interesting. 20 out of 30. That's a decent way to practice, actually. Believe it or not. Woo. I can heal myself while it's trying to kill me. Come on then. All right. Interesting. Okay, so then I speak with Colette. And what did she say?
Restoration. Why am I
Nicely done. We can begin your next lesson now. Okay. Oh. More advanced. Okay. Huh. Okay. That's not bad, actually. So, I've got that. Go down to restoration. And is it a book? Nice. And now I will know fast healing. And through this, I'll be able to... Yeah. Nice. I think that this is a good little thing I got going on. Alright, so, my Atronach, which I'm probably going to have to, do a little bit better on. Yeah. Alright, fast healing. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Alright. Okay. Come on then. I need to increase my magical regeneration. That didn't count because it wasn't in combat. Huh. Interesting. Oh. I could probably also use my wards. Still only got 100 health. Not the best. But I am becoming more powerful. Ah, warding. Yes. So, Warrior's Flame periodically touches a random target. Huh. Vigilant. The first ward you cost in combat costs no magic to maintain. That's amazing. Staying within while maintaining a ward prevents them from casting spells. Wow. When you're bored, you gain 25%. That's good. Wards reduce incoming attack damage. Mage ward. Casting a spell also raises a ward that increases. Wow. So warding is actually going to become pretty viable if I keep practicing. Okay. So. Is there a regeneration buff for this? Maybe not. I don't think so. Yeah, that almost killed me. Woo. Okay. Well, conjure the Flame Astronaut again. Get fast healing. So, let's see. Oh! I don't have a perk point, so it's not going to show. Come on then. Come on then. Whew. Alright, come on then. There you go. There you go. Oh, come on now. Woo. Okay. One more will kill me. I'm surprised that no one's trying to come up here and kill this thing. 26. Oh, just 5 more. 4 more. Two, 3, 4. Now we can speak with Colette. Hopefully. Probably no one got to sleep last night because Giovanni's up on the roof, exploding oh my gosh.
Restoration is a perfectly valid school of magic, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, does it make you do that all the time? Oh, I don't
Why
know.
are my research material...
Oh, is it wonderful? We will begin the next lesson. Does it what? Heal other. Okay. Now this may prove a little more interesting. Vigilant. Huh. We enter combat, rapidly regenerate magicka per second. That would help a lot, but that would help a lot. Aww. 30, so 15 per second. That's worth it for it right there. Heal other mastery. Use the heal other spell in combat.
Until next time.
Now, I don't know if that's gonna... I might kill myself doing this one. Okay. This is where it's gonna get crazy. Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe I should have taken the other one. Okay. So how much is heal out there? Okay. That's gonna be hard to do. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Woo! Yeah, I might just do regular healing. Alright. Yeah, come on then. Come on. 13. I call this Let Me Love You. Oh gosh. Ah. That's a relief. Heal other with this. Oh. Heal other. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! Ah. So it doesn't matter. I just gotta use it in combat. Not necessarily hit anything with it. Okay, that's not too bad. Heal other. 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30. I'm sure if you went and did that legit, that'd be quite a process.
Why am I
My next lesson. Okay. Close wounds. You know I can handle it? Now, that's level 50. I'm not sure that I can.
I'll gladly share my knowledge with you. Take a look.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
All right, then.
Thank you. So you definitely can't power level during this using that method, which is a shame.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim.
But speaking of that, I can disenchant that. Disenchant that. And you know, I think that's a very good system. And a very good point to end the stream. We've been going for about 3 hours and 15 minutes. I thank you for tuning in and maybe passively listening. I'll be doing a proper Let's Stream series for this. I think this character, but we're going to do it right. So it'll be much slower paced, much more narrative driven. And we'll get to see good old Giovanni of Skingrad go from 0 to anti-hero. Alright. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, keep telling great stories. Whether you're telling them among your friends, whether you're wanting to create something, write something of your own, or whether you're just talking to your friends and loved ones. It's so important that we all keep telling great stories. Because when we stop telling stories, I feel like that's the beginning of a division, between people in your life. Because we need to share. I mean, see this right here. What's the story between these 4 skeever heads over top of the food? Yeah? That's your homework. If you're a Skyrim fan, write a write a story about how these 4 heads came to be, and put them on your favorite Skyrim Reddit, or put it in the comments of this stream or the YouTube video that I put on my YouTube channel. All right. Well, like I said, keep telling stories. Thank you so much for tuning in.